With the release of Shiba Inu on everyone's mind who owns a Shiba Inu, you can expect people to be glued to all the official Shiba Inu social media accounts. One of these sharp-eyed people saw a Hitoshi Twitter update that has since been taken down, but they were able to take a screenshot of it before it was deleted. So in today's video, we'll talk about that and try to figure out what the tweet means and why it was deleted. Make sure you are there for this one. Disclaimer before we talk about that. We need to talk about a few other news items. They are very interesting news. For one thing, March has only been here for a few days, but the demand for Shib has already gone up by a huge 95%. This means that, according to Coinbase, 95% of Shiba investors have Shib on buy, and only 5% have it on sale. This shows that most Shib owners think a price pump is coming soon and are happy to wait for it, trying to figure out what makes people feel so optimistic. Back in 2022, analysts found that Shib buy sentiments reached as high as 98%. And around this time, rumors were going around about a Shiba Inu launch. So it looks like the fact that Shiba Inu is almost ready to launch is giving investors enough hope to keep their tokens and even buy more instead of selling. When you think about this, Watcher Guru says it sounds even more interesting. Also, the average hold time for Shib went from 180 days on average in 2022 to 240 days on average in 2023. Because of this, investors are keeping Shib for a longer time and not selling it to make quick money. Its 24-hour trading volume has also gone up by almost 16% to $174 million. The Shiba Inu community has a lot of hope for the day's trade right now. Now tell me in the comments if you are one of those who has high hopes for Shiba Inu. Also, a lot of people who own Shib tokens really like to keep them. However, there's another Shiba Inu token, Bone, that's been doing better. Even though there are fewer Bone tokens than Shib tokens, which makes it easier for Bone to pump, it's still impressive to see Bone push close to $2 per token. And the fact that it is the native token for Shiba Inu gives it even more power to fly with Bone as the native token for Shiba Inu. People will be more likely to buy the token because of this. Also, if you want to be a validator or delegator on Shiba Inu, you need at least 10,000 Bone tokens. That's a lot of tokens to buy, and all of those purchases would make the price of Bone go up. This doesn't mean, though, that Shib wouldn't gain anything. Remember that every Shiba Inu transaction will burn Shib. And the best way to force the price to go up is to really reduce the number of Shib tokens in circulation. I think a lot of people who own Shib know this, which is why, as I said before, many of them have chosen to keep their tokens. But these people may have decided to keep their tokens because a lot of people have already started making money from them. A crypto data compiler called Into the Block says that more than 400,000 Shib holders are making money right now. This is almost 3 times as many as were making money at the beginning of 2023. This is about 35% of the total number of Shib owners, which may not seem like much to some. But it's a long way from where we started at the beginning of the year. Also, this shows that Shiba Inu is still in the business of helping people make money. If you've been here long enough, you know that the rally in the first 2 months of 2023 is what caused this crazy rise in the number of Shib owners who are making money. Shib went up by almost 50%, which was good for many people who own them. So it's pretty clear that many Shib owners think this will happen again, only bigger, when Shiba Inu finally comes out. So they chose to wait. If you thought this was really helpful, please leave a comment and tell your friends about this video. It really helps with YouTube's algorithm, which makes it easier for me to keep making better videos. Now, let's get to the point of today's video. First of all, I want to say how interesting it is that all of the news about Shiba Inu right now seems to be about Shiba Inu. Any way you look at it, that launch is going to be explosive. Straight to the point, Satoshi's vague tweets are nothing new. What might be new, though, is how quickly he deletes those cryptic tweets after he had put it up. But before we get to that, this channel gives away 100,000 Shib every day to anyone who wants to take part. Just subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment below. Hashtag Shiba Inu. Best of luck. Also, when you become a member, you can join a private group. Join me in a chat where we can talk about crypto gems, money, and success. If you want to be a member, click that button. Thanks to a Sheep Army. The tweet was saved before it was deleted. The tweet just said confirming to the maker, and it was supposedly sent out in the morning of March 1. So the tweet doesn't say anything about Shibarium. But I think many people have just assumed that it must have something to do with the launch of Shibarium. Still, that doesn't explain what Satoshi meant to say in the tweet. Here you are. Shibarium is being built by Satoshi Kusama and the Unification Fund. This is today's attempt to explain it. At the end of December, Kusama said that he had met with developers from the fund to talk about the upcoming beta version of Shibarium and solve any problems with it. It's likely that Kusama hinted in his bio status that he had gotten in touch with Unification Fund again. Maybe to finish things up. That sounds very likely. But if it is true that Satoshi was trying to tell us that he had talked to Unification Fund in the tweet, it raises a different question. Why did he take it down? Does this mean Shibarium still isn't ready? But if that's the case, why did he tweet in the first place? It's a whole thing, and I'd like to know what you think about it in the comment section below. Even though we might not be sure what the tweet means, we are sure of something else. Satoshi finally got the blue check mark, so we know which of his Twitter accounts is really his. With this blue tick, we might be able to avoid most scammers who try to be Satoshi, at least on Twitter. So it's easy to see why so many people were happy about this new thing. Still, I can't help but say, well, we should still be careful. Remember that now, anyone who is willing to pay $8 can get the blue tick, so people can still pretend to be Satoshi. We need to pay attention to the number of people who follow the account, as well as the blue check mark. Keep in mind that it's your responsibility to keep yourself safe and take it seriously. Lastly, we've talked about how sheep could pump and make money for hundreds of thousands of sheep owners. But some analysts have done the work to show us how much sheep holders could make if sheep hits 1 cent. Right now, if you invested in 3,000 Shiba Inus, you would make about $2.5 million. If the price of sheep goes up to 1 cent, $3,000 will buy you about 250 million tokens. And if you hold on to the token long enough for sheep to hit 1 cent, you could have $2.5 million in your pocket. The question now is when Shiba Inu will reach 1 cent. Well, I think we all know there's no way to be sure about this. Still, many of us hope that this will happen soon after Shibarium is released. But this is not advice about money. Before making a choice, you should do your own research. Another thing, it's important to not have expectations that are too high. There are trillions of Shiba, and it would take a while for Shibarium to burn enough of them to make the price go up. So it's important to keep our hopes in check and make them more reasonable. We've reached the end of this video. If you liked the video, please like it and don't forget to leave a comment in the section for comments. This helps me a lot with how YouTube works. Also, please let as many people as possible know about this video. Let's tell everyone about this.